And hi again, everybody, and welcome to Sunday, the final day here at the 2018 Maryland State Championships. Jim Stevens with you, getting ready for a full day of action from the Doubletree Hotel here at Baltimore Washington International Airport. And we've got a final for you down on table number one. It's the final in the DYP. Undefeated so far in the event, representing the winner's side of the bracket. That's Donald Wilson in the forward position out of Mississippi. His partner, Alan Montrone, out of Florida. Also, on the right, coming from the loser's side, of course, out of Florida, that's Tony Spredeman. His partner, 7-year-old Brayden Jones from North Carolina. Looking to become, I would have to think, the youngest non-junior champion ever. As a 7-year-old ever won a large, and especially in something like this, 65 teams, I think, in the event, and here they are in the finals. He's 7. He's the son of Brian and Amy Jones, who were runners-up this weekend in the mixed doubles event, and we're underway here in game number 1. Best 2 games out of 3, and of course, Spredeman and Jones must win 2 out of 3s to come back and claim the DYP title here in Maryland. And Donald Wilson gets his team on the scoreboard. Donald, very experienced player, solid senior player. Remember him as a pro finalist, pro singles finalist, I think, a few years ago at the Nationals, if I'm not mistaken. And to pick up here by Wilson. There's Brayden with a block, and boy, what an accomplishment just to get this far. Now, Brayden Jones, of course, he plays some foosball. Both of his parents are foosball players. But he's 7. And there's a block on the pull shot. Let's see if Donald maybe looks at that straight. That's a lot of defensive movement. He does look at the straight, but Brayden was there. Sitting down at the other end of the table. Maybe you can see them. There's Brian Jones in the baseball cap with his younger son, who is 3. Don't believe he played in the tournament. But again, it just goes to show you what a great DYP player Tony Spredeman is. The best we've ever seen. Tony's percentage in DYPs is better than, I think, 70 or 80%. In other words, he wins 70 or 80% of the DYPs he plays in. And they're on the scoreboard here. It's 1-1. What a great experience for young Brayden Jones. Couldn't have drawn a better partner, both, of course, on the table, but also off the table, where Tony is so good with his partners in general, but also really good with kids. And Wilson able to stroke this one home. 2-1 lead early on here in the first game for Donald Wilson and Alan Montrone. Tony looking to even it up. And he does.
Ready? Yep. Ready.
2-2 here in the first game, and here's Brayden. He's looking to clear it along the outside wall, but it's picked up by Wilson. So how about the Jones family this weekend? Brian and Amy with a great performance in mixed doubles, losing in the final last night to Tony Spredeman and Ellen Moon. But boy, did they play well. Really played well. And then here is young Brayden, their son, in a final as well. Jones household having a great weekend. That shot attempt blocked by Montrone. And Alan, a Florida player, has competed against Tony extensively. And what a weekend Florida is having. Have a look, folks, if you would. And you can check out the brackets and the standings over at ifptour.com. But have a look at the top 4 remaining players in open singles. And we'll talk more about this as the day goes on. But you've got Blake Robertson and Tony Spredeman still in the winner's bracket. You have Dylan Marshall and Tommy Yore, the 2 remaining players in the loser's bracket. Common denominator, they're all from Tampa, Florida. We talked yesterday about what a strong scene they have, and of course that's led by that man, Tony Spredeman, who fires it home. It's 3-3. I'm not sure I've seen that. not sure I've seen that at a tournament that featuring this quality of player. Ryan Moore in that singles competition. Robert Mares as well. We got a timeout here called by Montrone. Alan Montrone will put the ball back into play. 3-3 in game number 1, the DYP final. Rattles towards the goal. Brayden keeps it out. Shot attempt taken away by Wilson. Donald's shot attempt. Jones with the block. Tried to go down the middle. Brayden takes it away. And a timeout called here, and Tony wants to discuss a couple things with his young partner, his very young partner.
They call us on that, I'm gonna get mad. They're really in trouble. That's our, it's one apiece, right? Yeah. Ready.
And the turnover here by Brayden after all of that. Buddy makes the block up the table to Tony. Spredeman walks it, hammers it home near side. 4-3 lead for Spredeman and Jones. I have to think there's never been a 7-year-old that has won a non-junior title. That's a nice play by Wilson with a left hook. 4-4 here in the first game. Tony digs it out, holds on to it, and can win game number 1 right here. That one, though, blocked and taken away by Montrone as Tony went with a quick one, and Allen will call timeout.
Damn, man, still caught it. The ball popped off my guy.
I was waiting for it to hit the ball.
I'm talking about the 5-bar pass. I still caught it. It raced to the wall. It popped off.
I thought it went up and it hit the-
Good block.
Ready?
Allen Montrone putting it back into play, tried to come down the middle, blocked by Spredeman, comes back to Allen. Another shot attempt and picked up here by Wilson. Donald going to work that left hook again. This time Tony looking for it. Not going to get that one through Tony twice. That shot up the table, wide of the goal, comes right back to Brayden. We'll look to get it past Wilson's 3-row. That's the challenge here. And a timeout called here. Good timeout called by Brayden. And taken away by Wilson. We'll look to put away game number 1, but there is Brayden getting in the way to take it away. And again, can he get it up the table? Yes, he does, and Tony able to dig it out. Again, for a first game win, Spredeman strokes it home. It's 1-0. Tony Spredeman and 7-year-old Brayden Jones win the opening game of the DYP final. As Wilson puts it into play, passes it through. Wilson will set up the pull shot and fire it down the middle. Nicely along the outside wall goes Tony. And stroking it home to the far side goes Spredeman. It's 1-1. It's another challenge for Tony Spredeman. He was pleased to draw 7-year-old Brayden Jones. I promise you that. Not only because he knows it'll be good for this young man to experience what he has experienced and continues to. But also because it's a personal challenge to him to win with a 7-year-old, which I don't think has ever been done. And Wilson now giving his team a 2-1 lead. Tony. And stroked home by Wilson. So 3-1 lead here in game number 2 for Donald Wilson and Alan Montrone. And it's 4-1. Tony. You have maybe a score and a switch here. Now he's going to leave Brayden back there. Wants to keep developing the kid's confidence. Knows he does have a game in hand. And it's now 4-3, just like that. To put away game number 2 here for Wilson. And Brayden with a block. Wilson able to pick this one up, and then Tony able to take it away. 4-3 lead here in game number 2 for Tony Spredeman and Brayden Jones. And Brayden's job here, just get it past Wilson's 3-rod, which he's unable to do in this situation. Wilson will again look to win this second game and even the match up at a game apiece. Donald strokes home the long. It's 1 game apiece. Here we go, third game underway. Tony and Brayden need this one to send it to a second set. Nothing lead here in the third game. And stroking it home here is Tony. And it's 2-1 as Wilson and Montrone get on the scoreboard here in this third game. Taken away here by Wilson. Not easy for Donald Wilson. He really needs to treat Brayden as any other player. tendency, and certainly Donald, a big-hearted guy. Look at Montrone firing that one in, and doesn't want to embarrass the kid or be too aggressive against him, but he really kind of has to be aggressive if he wants to win the title. And the ultimate respect that you can give any player, even if they're 7, is to really give them their best game. Donald has played well, and so is that guy, and it's 3-3. And a timeout called here. Brayden Jones will put the ball back into play. Tony gave him some advice during that timeout, which I guess was to set it here and shoot the pull shot. See, does get it through. Tony, of course, couldn't touch that ball. Would have been an illegal advance. Donald digging it off the wall. Sends it towards the goal and picked up here again by Brayden. He's 7 years old. And up the table and in for Jones. It's 4-3. Nice play by Brayden. It's set point for Tony Spredeman and Brayden Jones. Now Donald can send this opening set down to a final ball if he can score here. But he stubs it. Picked up here again by Brayden. So again, we'll set it up on the line as requested by his partner, apparently. That one taken away by Wilson. Donald takes a little more time here. Time the straight. Let's see. Nope, going long. It's set point. It's match point. It's championship point for Donald Wilson and Alan Montrone. They'll call timeout. Tony Spredeman will put it back into play. 4-4. It is not win by 2. Tony looks to advance the ball, and he does through the lane. Looking to send it to set number 2. Tony Spredeman. Call timeout. Tony Spredeman will put the ball back into play. Going to send it to a second set. Spredeman. Stokes at home, and Tony Spredeman and Brayden Jones hold on to win the opening set. 5-4 in the third game as we head to set number 2. Tony Spredeman, Brayden Jones win the opening set of the DYP. Donald Wilson will put it into play with his partner Alan Montrone as we open up set number 2. And again, in my experience, we have seen, of course, Sam DeJohn do what he does. I believe he won, was it amateur doubles at Las Vegas this year. Billy Pappas, of course, a great player when he was 9, 10, 11. But 7? Don't think it's ever happened. Not in my experience, and I certainly have some of that. So what a story being written here right now on table number 1. Tony opens up the scoring in the first game of this second set. And Tony very focused, and that is a dangerous proposition for any opponent of Mr. Spredeman. He wants this one. What he wants, he usually gets. Brayden Jones came up with a big score in that third game at 3-3. But again, that's not his job. His job is to give Tony a chance to grab the ball, 5 or 3. That's what he does here. He's going to score it. It's 2-0. Yeah, not easy for Wilson and Montrone to play in these circumstances. Of course, it's against Tony, the greatest. And Brayden doing the job back there defensively, though. And he does find the straight hole, but Brayden has certainly got a nice percentage against Donald throughout the match. It was rookie singles, not amateur singles, that Sam won in, I think it was rookie doubles, actually, that he won in Las Vegas. Could have been singles. Played 2 meets, never wrong. Unless I'm wrong. Brayden, with Tony and Brayden leading 3-1 here in game number 1. We'll call time out. As I said, played to me, never wrong. It was rookie singles in Las Vegas this year that Sam DeJohn won with more than 100 players in the event. Sam was 9, so much, much older than Brayden. As young Brayden Jones puts the ball back into play. But 7, and up the table on goal. Brayden Jones certainly contributing to the effort here as he has scored a couple of key goals. That one's going to roll to a dead stop. It'll be put back into play by Alan Montrone. Shot attempt grabbed by Wilson. This defense, usually you're looking at a straight or a very long. There's the long. Donald has a good one. It's 3-2. Spredeman. Takes his time and then calls a second and final timeout. Tony Spredeman will put the ball back into play. Tony strokes it home far side. It's 4-2. Wilson will look to pull his team back within 1 as he sets up the pull shot against Brayden Jones. And he does find the straight hole here. It's 4-3. Tony crisply through the lane. For a first game win here in the second set. Spredeman drills it down the middle. Tony Spredeman, Brayden Jones now just a game away from the DYP title. And you see Tony stalking back and forth. Whenever you see Tony doing that, he is really giving you his A-plus game. He is motivated, he's focused, and we're seeing that here. And again, why wouldn't you be? You have a chance to really not only affect a young man in a very positive way, but also to really create some history. There we go, second game underway. Looking at the stats, Tony Spredeman 4 for 5, passing 4 for 4, shooting. Brayden Jones cleared at 100% and also scored 1. Solid numbers for the team of Spredeman and Jones. Wilson just 2 for 6 passing, but he was 3 for 4 shooting. He's got to continue with that kind of percentage. Montrone cleared at 50%. Wilson fires home the long. Donald does get that thing out there. I heard that one rattle off the post. It's 1-0 here in game number 2. Spredeman looking to even it up. Montrone, though, able to block it and take it away. Again, Allen does have some experience playing against Tony on the local level. And that one blocked back into the goal. It's 1-1. And knocked down by Wilson. It comes back to Jones. Dad and Mom both sitting in the crowd, looking both nervous and proud at the same time. As Spredeman able to pick this one up after Brayden was able to clear it again, and then he tried to go to that far corner, and Montrone there. 1-1 here in the second game. 1-0 lead for Tony Spredeman and Brayden Jones. That one's going to get up the table off a man and in. It's 2-1. Tony quickly evens it at 2. The lane goes Wilson. Donald. Again, stroking home the long. Interesting to see at some point whether Tony does get back there in a defensive situation. Brayden's done a pretty good job, but right now Wilson on a bit of a roll. That dead ball will be put back into play by Tony. Spredeman back along the wall. Will attempt to tie it up at 3. Spredeman. Stokes it home far side. Tied at 3 goals apiece here in game number 2. And a timeout called here by Spredeman and Jones. Donald Wilson will put the ball back into play. We're tied at 3 here in game number 2. Big ball here for Wilson and Montrone. Donald can't connect on the pass. It comes back to Brayden. Shot down the middle on goal by Jones. Picked up here by Montrone. It comes back the other way, just wide. Scramble picked up by Wilson, who quickly advances it through that near lane. Donald will set it up and shoot for the lead. And blocked and taken away by Brayden. So again, sends that one up the table. It comes back to him off that back wall. He's doing a good job of clearing the zone here in this second set. Again, gets it out, but it's picked up on the 5 by Wilson and sent right back towards Jones's goal. Off the outside wall, Tony tried to grab it on the 3. Instead, it's Wilson who's able to pick it up with his passing rod. Donald will take it across, work that far side as he always does. Instead, trying to come back down the middle with a left hook, taken away by Spredeman. Donald's been shooting it extremely well on the 3 rod. I don't think that was the right time for a left hook. He needs possessions on that 3 rod. Looking to get one here. And it partially blocked by Tony. Comes back to Brayden. Jones up the table towards the goal, and it trickles in. It is championship point for Tony Spredeman and Brayden Jones. That one sent back to Brayden. Come on, kid, put it in the goal. Up the table, and he gets it to Tony, who has it on the 5. Chance to win it here for Tony and Brayden. Spredeman for the win. Trying to come near side, blocked up into the air and off the table by Montrone. Well, at least temporarily, Wilson and Montrone still alive, as Allen will, Allen will put it back into play. Montrone fired a pull kick wide. The rebound grabbed by Wilson, who can tie this second game up at 4. Taken away by Brayden. Up the table, Montrone with a quick shot blocked by Tony, and Allen again will have possession. Montrone again. Brayden shot down the middle, almost stuffed back into the goal by Wilson. Jones again. Sent towards the middle of the table where it's picked up by Spredeman. Second chance for Tony to win it. Spredeman. Tried to come back down the middle, and Montrone with a nice switch and block. And the left hook. And timeout called here by Wilson and Montrone. Donald really executes that particular shot well. That probably was a good situation to use it. It was unexpected. Tony not ready for it. Donald sold it, scored it, and tied it at 4 here in game number 2. Tony Spredeman will put the ball back into play. It is championship point for Spredeman and Jones. Tony's had 2 chances. He'll get another one here. For the win, again, Spredeman. Usually, if you're going to give Tony 3 tries, he's going to get at least one of them as he sets it up. And again, Montrone there with a block. Dug out, almost grabbed by Wilson. Spredeman can't grab that one. So Tony's had 3 shots, and Alan Montrone has come up big defensively when he needed to most. And now we're headed to a third and final game. Tony taking a walk. Here we go. Final game of the DYP underway here on table number 1 as Tony puts it into play, advances it along that far wall. Now, usually in this situation, after Tony's lost a game, especially when he's had chances to win it, you get a big performance from Spredeman. And he opens up this final game with a shot to the near side. It's 1-0. Donald through the lane. Look to tie it. Try to go long, sprayed that one wide. Rebound comes back to Spredeman. We'll look for a 2-0 lead against Montrone. Spredeman fires it home far side. So quickly sprinting from the gate here in this final game. Spredeman and Jones up 2-0. We're going to get a timeout. Nope, we're not. Looked like we would there for a second. But it's Wilson putting it into play. All right, he kind of turned away from the table. Expected the timeout. Wouldn't have been a bad time for a timeout, down 2-0. We'll call it the Tom Your timeout. Tom always calls it in that situation, and most of the time it's effective. That one, though, stuffed back into the goal by Wilson. It's 2-1. Spredeman fires it home. It's 3-1, so a quick answer by Tony, and they're up by 2 goals again, which makes this a huge ball for Wilson and Montrone. Donald. Taken away by Brayden. Dangerous going down the middle. Brayden fires that one wide and grabbed by Tony on the 5-row. Nice clear there. An unpredictable play by Wilson, rather by Brayden, and it's Tony passing it through, setting it up. And a chance to win it here for the championship. Spredeman chokes it home, and there it is. Tony Spredeman and Brayden Jones, 7-year-old Brayden Jones, win the 2018 Maryland State DYP Championship. What a great performance, of course, by Spredeman, but from 7-year-old Brayden Jones as well, becoming, in my experience, I believe, the youngest player to ever win a title. And here comes the family. There's his younger brother, just 3. Sam DeJohn comes over. Tony giving Brian a hug. That's got to feel good.